G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here with another episode of Rise to Ruins. We are in North Oak still. I'm not sure what day we're on actually, we'll have to wait until we go in. 1600 total resources, 36 villages, only 11 monsters. That's good, we're keeping the monster count down, we're getting rid of them. Let's dive on in. So we're day 8, dawn of day 8. Last day of spring. And as I said in my last episode, we are just waiting for the last of our buildings to be 100% repaired. What have we got? The farm. The lumber shack and the lumber mill and the makeshift forge need some repairs. Once those repairs are all done, we are going to be good to build some new buildings, but I'm not going to build anything until they are completed. I'm also, as I say every day in this game, day 8, I am really hoping I get some nomads today because I've got 9 more. Yes, nomads, where are they? Here they are. And it looks like 3 girls and one of these Cat Jeet nomad child. I don't know what the Cat Jeet thing is. Someone tell me in the comments what that meme is all about. I've seen it a few times in here. But hopefully that is 3, if not 4 new villages that I can put to work. And initially they're going to be builders so that we can get these buildings repaired, and then we are probably going to keep them as builders actually because we've got a few buildings we want to put in place. Yeah. Whoa, and oh, it ended up being 5 new villages. We've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. That's really good. 5 new villages. I'm really happy with that. Let's get all of the buildings repaired, please. Oh, actually, they are. Yay! We can keep building! Right. So, I said an ancillary down here. Just want to make sure it's lined up with this. The reason why I'm going and being so anal about lining this up is because I want that wall to go straight up along that edge. So that's the only thing I'm going to build right now is this ancillary, which will hopefully push things enough. If it doesn't, I'll put another makeshift outpost down here. Now, we may delete some of these makeshift outposts later on because technically we don't need them at all. We will end up replacing them with different towers basically, and we're just going to have a whole bunch of towers along this wall. The idea being, I mentioned this in the last episode, but the idea being that we don't expect this wall to be attacked per se, because we're going to have a gap in the wall up here, possibly here, or maybe we'll build another gap. If we do continue extending our wall vertically this way, or north-south this way, we may end up putting a gap up here somewhere that the enemy will try and get through. As long as there's a gap, they will make for that gap, right? So we want to use that against them and want them to come through that gap, and we want to put a maze before they have to come through that gap, which allows us to focus them in one spot while all of our towers around it just hammer them. Which means that they shouldn't be attacking this wall down here. But as the blight spreads and they start building other things, like they might build corrupted graveyards or whatever, any towers that we've got here that are within range will hopefully attack those. Now, I don't know if that's the way the mechanic works. I'm just hopeful that it does. And we shall see what happens once we get to that stage, which will be umpteen probably episodes in the future, but we will. That's the goal. The goal is survival. And not just here. We're going to survive to the point where we can start emigrating and moving to other areas, and really working out the the strategies to survive in those other areas. How are we going to build and wall ourselves off? Ultimately, we want to find, like, if it's a bit of a cheat thing, but I've played this exact map 3 times now, and every time the blight starts right here in this corner, right about here actually, this corrupted graveyard. That's about where it starts. Right? So, if it's the same on every map, if the blight starts in the same position on every single map, then offline I may play around with the next map that I'm going to go to from here and work out where the blight starts, and even see some of the strategies might be, if the blight had have started here, for example, then I might have wanted to start my buildings right here and try and wall this off and stop the blight from spreading in any directions. If I can get enough buildings surrounding it before it can get big enough, then it'll be trapped in a little valley and can't go anywhere. So that's an idea that I want to try out on some of the other maps. Now, it's probably not possible, and if it is, the game designer will probably rebuild and reposition where the starting positions of some of the blights are to get around that issue. But, you know, it's just coming up with strategies and trying to work out what you want to do. Beautiful. We are now ready to start building our wall up here. So we are starting to produce a lot more stone. And we are going to... I'm pretty sure that these buildings are sort of lined up. So I think... yeah. Okay. And it'll come down to right there. Beautiful. Let's start building a wall. And I'm not going to finish this wall. I'm going to do this wall in like little sections to begin with, because these walls are really slow to build in some ways. Right, and when you've only got a limited number of builders, I just don't want to go nuts. So what I'm going to do is just put little sections of wall in front of each of these buildings. I need to destroy some stuff there. And so the plan here is just to plan out where these sections of wall are going to go. Now, we've got to go around this. So we're going to go there. And what we'll probably do is, there's no reason why we can't go all the way up to that and then just go around it like that. Now, if I finish this wall all the way down along here, then that's as far as the blight can go east to west in this area. Later on, I may finish this wall up here and anchor it to this rock up there, and that'll completely limit them to that half of the map. We'll see. But once this wall is all filled in, and it shouldn't take that long, we are going to finish this wall across this way, and that will give us our first boundary, and we will be safely walled away from the blight. So we'll stop building that for now. Now, there are some other buildings that we need to make. Now, I mentioned in the last episode that we wanted we're good for storage now. We probably need another trash processor down here, although we've cleaned up all of this trash for the moment, so I'm not going to worry about that. At some point we need a trash burner, And the logical place to put it is up here. So we're going to put that in. And let's just pause that for the moment. Got a few more buildings we can do. We do need to upgrade the village centre, but I'm going to wait until I've cleared out all the other buildings that I'm doing at the moment before I do that. A crystallary eventually we are going to need, but not right yet. Now, I said we wanted a toolsmith down here. And an armor smith. And again, I'll just pause both of these. I've had some thoughts about improvements for this game. And the biggest improvement is there was a message that just popped up on that screen. And because I was thinking about something else, I really didn't pay attention to it. Now, it probably just said that it was midday, right? But there's no way that I know of to find what that message was. So I wonder what purpose this little message panel has down here when it doesn't include those messages that pop up. I feel that all of the messages that appear in the game should be down in this panel. And you should be able to scroll through it. You should be able to scroll back and find previous ones. Because at the moment I can't see what that message was. And there doesn't seem to be any sort of... I can't click up here. There's nothing up here. You know, I can't click on this. I can't do anything to find that information. And if it was important, I don't know it now. You know, it could have told me that someone died. It could have told me that, there's some end of game condition happening that I just didn't pay attention to, and I could be dead in the next 10 seconds and I won't know it. Right. So, yeah. Oh, look, they're actually getting through a lot of this building very, very quickly. Is that true? We do have one person idle. There we go. Let's get the builders going. I think I said in one of the other episodes, the other change that I'd like to see made in this game is to be able to click on something like the farm, and then even if you just, when you hover over this build range here, it actually highlights that range on the map for you. I'm sitting here doing this sort of twisty-turny motion against the screen, but you can't see me doing that. But it shows a circle around the building, much as it does when you go to place a tower. So like that shows me the range of the ballista tower, right? I know now that that's the range that it will be able to shoot in. Which is 32. So in reality, that's the range of your farm. The farm will find any food in that range and will harvest it. Right? So that's why some of this food up here is never getting harvested. Partly because we don't need it. We've hit the cap that we wanted to go for. Again, I'm pointing at the screen. You can't see me. We've hit the cap that we aimed for. We said that we wanted this to be producing 100 food. So they're not going to grab that. But if we up this to, say, 150, it needs to get food from somewhere else. And we've got this stuff up here specified that it should take food from, but they might not because the range of that is 32. And 32 doesn't go up that far. But I'd like to be able to click on this and actually, see what that range is. But it doesn't show. The only buildings it does that for are the towers, the defense towers. And that's a little bit annoying. Okay. Oh, look at that little doggy taking some trash to the dump for us. Isn't he a good doggy? Right. They are going gangbusters on our wall. I'm really happy with the progress on it. Only just that little bit there to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpause the makeshift burner so that they can grab that. Because I've noticed that we're getting low on food, I'm going to do this. And once it's done, I'm probably going to do a second round of it. Actually, I'll probably do the other round up here, I would think would make sense. Because that really didn't grow very much in the way of veg back for us. A little bit disappointing, and I don't have enough to do it a third time. Right, so we've built those little sections of wall now. And man, they are chugging through that burner really, really quick. So let's get these other building projects queued up and ready to go. It's really getting to the point now, where I think managing my people is starting to get interesting, because, you know, now that I've added more of the junk stuff in, I probably need to add another trash person in to be able to work with that. Although maybe not. 5 is a good number, but I'm definitely going to need at least one armor smith and one toolsmith to be able to work with that. So that's 2 people that I've got to take away from somewhere. And I've got 10 builders, so that's fine. But I'm also considering upgrading my village centre at least a couple of more times. And that's going to use some resources, but I definitely still need a lot of stone, so I may have to add some more people to my miners, because I've got to finish joining up all of these sections here, which isn't going to be trivial. So it really is coming down to... And there are lots of other buildings that I could build too, as we've got a few more spots to go. We don't have a clinic yet, which would be useful. A maintenance building might be useful, and the way shack would be good. Not going to aim for the migration station yet. We haven't really got into any of the golem stuff yet. So the makeshift burner requires energy up here, which means it would probably be a good idea to put in an essence collector here to help get some energy. I believe that will speed up the energy. This will gather energy by itself anyway. If you look in here, that's its energy there, and it'll slowly just go up. But I believe with the essence collector right next to it, or close to it, it will improve that even further. So let's get that going. Oh, look, we've got a loot box in amongst our carrot field. Do we have enough there that we can do this again? Yes, we do. Charging through our tool smithy and our iron smithy, so that's really encouraging. So once we get this wall built, and technically once we get that wall built, and we put a whole bunch of turrets across this one, and we bought our little maze. It's not really much of a maze, but we put our little maze in. I'm going to add Randy to the miners. He was a miner, and now he's going to be a miner. Oh my god, that is a Galaxy Quest reference if I've ever heard one. We can actually start expanding over here to the east. Because there's some land over here which is usable, and we've got all of these trees that we can chop down and use, and we've got all this... We've got so much stone over here. That's the thing. I mean, we don't have to really worry about stone. There is so much stone here that we're never going to run out. Oh, look at that. I'm stealing all that essence. Right, come on, guys. Finish off these buildings. And then we're going to... And finish off that. Then we'll upgrade the village centre. And then I think we'll continue on with the wall. How's the blight going? Yeah, it's still slow and steady, which is good. And I'm glad that it's sort of going north a bit as well. It's going to take them a long time to get all the way up to here. It's entirely possible that we could spread fast enough that we could go across here and take all of this area here and put a wall across here and take everything north of that. If we really wanted to, we could probably do that. Just string out outposts up here and then across here in a line, and we could do that. Outposts and ancillaries. But I want this north-south wall done first, and I want my east-west defensive wall with its gap in it, and then we'll look at expanding out this way as well and see how we go. I just got to be careful the way I do that expansion, because I don't want to put any of the buildings that I create along the way in danger, although we could make them almost sacrificial and repair them afterwards if we've got enough people and resources to do that. So there is that as well. Okay. Toolsmithy is almost done. Just 3 more stones. Which means we need to set some priorities. Are we able to set priorities on... What's that? Iron shields, iron chest armor, iron helmets. At the moment, we can have 12 guards. So let's go for 10 of each of those. Let's go for 10 swords. We've got 10s on each of those. And then here's the thing, we don't... Miners, crystal harvesters, and stonecutters can use pickaxes. 10 should be a good number for those. Axes, workers, carpenters, fletchers, and lumberjacks. 10's a good starting number for that. Hoes are just farmers. We've already got 4 of them. Let's make sure that we're always at 3, because I think that's all the farmers we've currently got assigned. Oh, actually, let's make it 5. Hammers, builders, crystalliers, and smiths. Let's put that at 10. Shovels, armor smiths, builders, farmers, and miners. Why would armor smiths need shovels? And then med kits require clinics. We have to make a clinic yet. And again, I didn't pay any attention to that pop-up, but we have a worker needed here. So let's assign 1 there and take 1 from there. There we go. So I think the tool smithy is probably set right with the tools that we need. And we're building the essence collector over here as well, although this is already finished with all of its energy, but it'll use energy as it's burning trash. So that's fine. Actually, that notification was probably just telling us that it was a change of time. And we need someone in the armor smith as well. So let's take that away from builders. Okay, now that we've done that, it's time to upgrade the village. And I may actually do this a couple of times. And I think it's probably worthwhile going through most of our other buildings and just upgrading them. Particularly anything that's still at the makeshift stage. Just because, not because we need to be able to add more people to them. But I think I mentioned this in another video, but if we pick, well, we just did this, we did the makeshift toolsmithy. If I upgrade that, sure, I can add an extra toolsmith, but it gives us a bonus speed to the production of whatever that building is. And so, you know, if they can produce things faster, why not? So making sure that we've got everything at least one level above makeshift will be good. And then we can, if we've got time, we'll consider doing others as well. Oh, a suspicious key. Okay, this is going to be fun. I'm going to leave that there and let someone find that and do that themselves, because they will. In fact, I've seen dogs go and pick up the key and take it to a chest and unlock it. Let's just move that out of the way a little bit. No, out of the way. Yeah, that'll do. Oh man, we opened that chest down here and it's just full of armor. Oh man, look at all that. Leather and iron armor. And wooden shields and iron shields. That's why we didn't need to make any of them. I should have noticed that. Okay. Village centre is going well in its upgrade. We're going to have to upgrade the houses too, because we don't have a lot of capacity left. So we definitely want to upgrade all the houses to one more level so that we can get some more people going. Let's just double check that the houses have all basically got full food in them. That's just to confirm that we're producing enough food. We need to get a kitchen going as well, though. That's another big thing that we need to do. And if we upgrade the barracks, we can fit more of this armor in it too. So I think that's going to be the first thing we upgrade. So let's do that right now, because we can add 16 more storage slots there. We can also add 6 more guards, but we don't really, as I said, we don't really need a lot of guards because we're relying on our bow towers, etc., to do all of the damage. What was that? Ah, look, more resources and gold coins and boards and ingots and stuff. Very nice. Okay. Probably need to start upgrading some of our storages as well to be able to handle all of that. But I think this is a good time to end the episode. So let's come back out again and do our standard save and see how we've progressed in this episode. And we're up to 1,054 God experience. Just another 900 or 850, 846 to go, and we can open up that chest. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Rise to Ruins. If you liked it, please give me a like and share it with your friends. Leave any comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up to date on all the latest videos, and I will see you for the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye.